Hey, hello there. Welcome to Talking with Tony. It's our Masters preview edition. So we bring back our golf correspondent, Danny Arp. Through the years here on Talking with Tony, we've had some fine golf correspondents. Michael Hicks, who played uh, collegiately at Columbus State University and has put on the green jacket before of Trevor Immelman. He was coached by Trevor's brother, who's doing some broadcasting now himself. We've had Fred Blatchford, and he's still part of the team. Fred Blatchford is. And we've got Danny Art, who's done a fine job for the last 2 or 3 years with the golf and of course with football as well. But he wears a lot of hats, and today we're going to ask him to think green as an Augusta National because eventually today he's going to deliver the winner. I know I believe in my heart that he's got it in him. But Danny, welcome back to Talking with Tony, and I know you're pleased that it's Masters Week.
Oh yeah, I am pleased that it's Masters Week. All these tournament build-ups, and I know we had a couple we talked about, but you had the players, the Valspar, Valera, all these building up to it, and you just know it's coming. And I know I've got a Hawaii picture there, but those flowers there don't even do justice to what you see at Augusta, when it comes on. And I'm excited about it, man. It's my favorite time of year. I try to watch it as much as I can. I don't get any sleep. It's all on Golf Channel. And I'm sure you're probably the same way.
I'm there after Monday's national championship game in college basketball, which as we recorded was yesterday. So now I'm tuning in and I'm looking at the pairings and getting excited about who might play. And then when it gets tomorrow afternoon or when it gets Thursday afternoon and gets Friday afternoon, I'm always hoping for either a little bit of a rain delay or something to push it back even more. I want it to go past 7:30. Absolutely till dark because then I don't want to have to wait till the next day for it to start back. And we get so consumed in it for 4 days, and then Monday arrives, and it's like, what in the world am I going to do with my life now?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I set it up on the screen, and at work, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I got two screens. I'll watch one of them. I used to do that when we were in the IA department, man. We'd go, we'd be hosting a meeting and somebody'd walk in on us. We'd have it up on the big screen, before the meeting started. And it's always a great week. I, I really wish I'd ever had the opportunity to play there or even work there, where I work does a lot of work out there during the tournament. And I haven't even gotten a chance to go be a part of that. So.
I've been able to go a couple of times, and I thought I was going to go a few years ago, and that fell through like the night before. But I wasn't that upset. I mean, I've had such a great time the couple of times that I've been, and now I'm kind of happy just being able to watch on the HD television and the coverage. The crowds are just so enormous, and one of the two times that I did go, I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I went with my cousin and. It was on a Friday, but they'd had rain on Thursday, so they needed to finish the first round before they started Friday's second round. And it was delayed until like 10:30. Well, you get there still dark when you get there. It's like six something in the morning, and all you hear those gates open is like the cleats, the golf, your golf. Everyone's wearing the golf shoes and they're hitting the pavement. You hear that. We decided to go to 17. Well, they didn't have the course ready to play till after 10 o'clock, and we were there for, 3.5 hours. I remember Gary Plair's caddy showing up at 17. People have been waiting, so long for golf. He got a standing ovation, the caddy did, before the players showed up. People were just ready for some golf. But I'm glad that it is exactly what it is, and I'm happy that it means so much. To you as well. Your father he was an exceptional golfer, so I'm sure that the Masters was important to him as well. But and he was incredible. His short game was phenomenal, by the
Oh
way,
yeah.
too. Really good on the greens, and that is always something that I think about as so key to winning Augusta is being able to navigate those greens.
Yeah, I love, up here now I've been trying to find a few places to play. And like I told you, moved up here, didn't play hardly any. I played none during November, December, January. And I have gotten in a couple of 9-hole rounds. I still haven't even done an 18-hole one. And the greens are a little slower up here in the Lexington, Columbia area that I thought they would be. Um, And I'm not very good on slow greens. I mean, I putt all right on slow greens, but I putt great on fast greens. And Augusta obviously sets the stage for the fast green. And you've got to be dialed in. Short putt. I mean, how many short putts have we seen missed at Augusta that cost people big time, right? And it's what's going to happen. I mean, the same thing will happen this weekend. Talking about it's going to be one of the driest weekends out there. Everything's going to harden up. Putting is going to be at the forefront this week. It's going to be awesome, man. And
You and I were in high school, and Scott Hoke was in position to win, former
yeah,
Wake Forest golfer, Augusta, and he just needed to make a real short putt, and he missed. And Byron Jones and Jeff Foster the next day, we were playing in like the region championship, except calling him, referring to him as Scott Choke, Scott Choke. It just got on my nerves like you can't
mhm.
imagine because here was a guy who was in position to win Augusta. And I'm thinking like, you boys think either one of y'all are ever going to be in that position to win anything? And I'm not kidding me. You can't win the weekend, tournament at your
Yeah.
own, club. This guy's trying to win the most prestigious golf tournament in the world, and you're going to call him Choke?
Look, man, how many times do we play? And we still do it. I mean, I do it. You get in the leather, oh, it's good, and you pick it up. No, man, you got to put it out. And I've seen some putts miss that you just couldn't believe. And I I don't know if I had a video we could send it to Jay. He could put it up of me putting at this one, just that I just played at. It was at Golden Hills Country Club in Lexington. And I mean, I putted it. It's in, Anthony. I mean, I'm walking it off. I got my finger up. You know what I mean? I'm doing the tiger walk off. It lipped out. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh.
And another putt that comes to quickly to mind, and we're not going to ask him to do too much on B-roll, but Kiowa Island, was that 1991 maybe when the U.S. Ryder Cup team defeated Bernhard Langer and missed that short putt at Kiowa
Yes, he
Island?
did.
I don't know if 91 is correct on the year, but a book I gave you about a golfer that was from that Cedartown area that your dad knew, he missed a big putt. It might have been the British Open. It was a
Doug
real
Sanders
close.
missed a big putt at the British Open. That's correct.
Yeah.
Never got there again. That was his. He had that tournament, man.
I don't even know. I've never seen that putt before. I don't even know if that's available on
Yeah.
YouTube or anything, but that would be Sanders at the British Open. And I can't tell you the year would be what, early 70s
I don't
maybe?
know.
What?
We'd have to look that one up. But it was Doug Sanders was a great ball striker. He was a real flamboyant guy. He sort
Very
of
colorful
yeah,
dresser,
he's
real successful with the ladies off the
oh
course.
yeah, he was a player now. He was your typical, golfing guy back in the day. And he, came from that, sort of like what I sent you my little opening thing. He came from that western side, state, played up and down all those courses of Georgia and just made money, man. Just a hustler. And
We went,
it's unbelievable.
Taryn,
He missed that putt and he never could get it back, and
no,
there's a whole chapter in his book about that.
it wasn't the same. Tara and I went and saw Fred Couples early days of our marriage, and I told him, he's quite a ladies' man, and he's been, known to be, real successful on and off the course. But so don't think about marrying him because, like, both of his first wives, died really, really young.
Oh no.
And I mean, I swear, after about four holes, he just like looked it over at her for like three consecutive holes, and I started feeling like a little uneasy about this. I can't compete with Fred Couples, So
No, man. You can't mess with Boom Boom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's
uh,
got a nickname, Boom Boom. I mean, come on, man. I mean,
hey, I wouldn't be surprised if that guy is up on close to the leaderboard after the first round because he knows how to get around Augusta, as they say.
he always plays well at Augusta. I mean, if somebody wants to get on a little prop, something on that, he's going to get out there and and play a great game. He's just got such a nice, fluid swing. It's a beautiful swing. Not a lot of stress on the body, which is why I think the longevity is there for him. Same thing I think with Bernhard Longer. You mentioned him missing that putt. Kiowa. Those guys just had that. They just kept that natural swing, and they let the geometry of golf get that distance that they needed, and they were so accurate with their irons and both putted well. Fred Couples' swing. It looked like it was just effortless, and they called him Boom Boom because he was always out driving everybody in those days. I think you and I followed him around. We went to that Columbus tournament that year in high school, and I think he was playing down there at Callaway Gardens, wasn't he? One of the people we followed was Fred Couples, I think.
I remember following Bob Estes because I like Bob
Bob
Estes.
Estes won it though that year, right?
It seems like he was up there close, and he came over and talked to us because I kept yelling "Hook 'em horns," when he'd take a good shot. He was like, "Man, do I know these guys?" Because he wasn't exactly a household name, but he was a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we've
I
had
was
some
in.
fun times while doing golf and watching them.
Oh man, I tell you, I had a great conversation with Payne Stewart one time in Columbus, and I asked him. I said, "Are you?" And he won. And I said, "Are you going to play next week at Disney World?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm going." He goes, "You coming down?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so, but I'm gonna try to watch it on television." You know, I was a teenager. I was like 15 years old. He was so kind, and I hate that he had such a early untimely death in
Yeah,
that plane incident. That
yeah, that
because
was
he was
wild, man.
talk about flamboyant. He was also
Oh, he was another one. Yeah,
he
I
had
love
that
that about golf. I
charisma.
still dress up. I've got the most. I don't know if I sent you the picture when I went and played in Hawaii. I mean, I got the most beautiful Hawaiian golf shirt you've ever seen, man. I went out and picked it out the night before at the mall. I
Hey,
love to dress up flamboyantly. I wear the colored belt.
you always dress for success. No, even going back to your high school days, you had the best looking, polos. So,
I wish I'd have paid attention though and listened to my dad when I was in high school, man. I never could play worth crap. If I could have played then like I do now, I would have been I've been a contender.
in high school, if you could have had your driving game and my short game, if you would have had those combined, you would have been, playing in college. I mean,
Yeah, it would have been a good one, that's for sure. You could make
because
any
you
kind of putt.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
that's about all I could do. I hit the ball straight back then, but that's why I'm so scared to get back out on the course now. When I stopped playing, I was no longer hitting the
Hey,
ball.
listen, the
Um,
beauty of it, Tony, is you're coming up to the point where you can move up to the gold tees. It doesn't matter how far. Hitting it straight's premium now, man.
yeah,
You're at the
that's
age where hitting it straight's what matters, man. A 302-yard hole, you'll be just fine with a
that's true.
with a
That's a
driver.
good. That's a fair point. Can you share a couple other of your favorite Augusta National memories before we talk about this year's
Yeah,
tournament?
yeah. I can. Number one, I'm not going to say it was my favorite, but I do like, I did always like to watch Greg Norman choke, you know, and I
Mm.
like Greg Norman. I thought he was a great golfer. He really was a great golfer. If Greg Norman would have won that Masters that he got beat, that he missed out and bogeyed 18 on, you probably would have never had live golf. You know what I'm saying? But he took that personally, and
Is that '96 when he blows the lead
it
to
was
Faldo?
96 when he blew it. Yeah, he blew it right
Mhm.
there. And so that was one of my favorites. He blew it a lot of times though. Then you had my favorite, obviously, would probably be the same one everybody is, Jack in 1986 with that back nine shooting a 30, just unbelievable. And you had great calls, great commentary. He had on that green outfit that was just blending in with the tournament. And he's standing out there on 15. He's got like it's 215 to the hole, playing 230 with the win, and he stands there and stands there and stands there, and he's thinking about it, right? What he's going to do. But once he decided, this is what I love about golfers in those era back then too. They just hit the shot, man. It was feel. He
Mhm.
bends over, throws up a piece of grass, reaches down, grabs that 2 iron, steps over, and he hits the most magnificent shot. Makes the putt, and you get that. That's when everybody knew something special was going on when he pulled that off. And uh, the fact that he won that at 46 is just amazing. And again, you had Norman in that hunt too, and
Tom
Seve
Kite.
Ballesteros.
Hmm.
Tom Kite, or no, was it Tom Kite? Yeah, it was Tom Kite in there
He
with
had
him.
a putt at 18, and if he would have made, he would have been in a playoff. Kite
That's
did.
exactly right. Jack had to sit there and watch him finish it out. Yeah. So that was an amazing win. And the way the crowd reacted after he won, when he came back out of the scorer's room, it was insane. And you just don't get that at golf events. I mean, absolutely insane. That was a great one. And then Nick Faldo, another great golfer, that I always loved to watch, and especially at Augusta. He had two good tournaments there, and he was fun to watch too. So
Jose Maria Olazabal,
yeah, that
longer
was
himself. There's some European Sandy Lyle. There was a lot of success there in the late '80s to '90s with
little Ian Woosnam
European.
won one, right? Yeah.
Yep, with European players. Yeah, absolutely.
My
Um,
favorite, I think my favorite moment of Masters that I enjoyed was when Hideki Matsuyama won it and his caddy turned and bowed back down
Wow.
the 18th fairway. That just get that if that doesn't get in your feels if you're a golfer, I don't know.
Right.
That was a good
No,
one.
that's the majestic majesty. such a majestic place.
Yes.
Augusta National is. And he was showing so much respect for that. And I don't know if he still has that same caddy, but if he does, he'll be forever revered there at Augusta National for what he did. The cameras,
Oh yeah.
catching him and all. And by the way, Hideki's game's in good form right
Yeah.
now. He's won there before. He's certainly a contender this week.
Absolutely, man. He's been playing great. I think we're coming into it with a lot of people starting to play great. You know, that are their forms are coming in and they've had good history there at Augusta. Um, so I think we're gonna have a bunch of good names to pick from here. But
I
I
think it
do
was
think I
Craig.
got the winner.
I think it was Craig Stadler, like 82 or 83. We had a Monday finish when the Walrus won it. Dan Pole, great. Don Pooley, Dan Pole. I think it was Dan Pole. They were both really good putters. But
Now
I've looked at the weather.
there's a specimen, athletic specimen.
Oh, Sadler, the
Yeah,
Walrus.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've looked at the weather. We got no chance for a Monday finish. I always hope for a Monday finish because I want it to extend even longer. I'm telling you, that's the way I feel. It's like we just had the Winter Olympics, and I always record all the cross country and the biathlon events, and I try to save them. And Tara and I watch them, a couple every 2 weeks and it carries on about 2 months. So the Winter Olympics gets to carry on a little bit longer because I just enjoy certain aspects of the competition and I don't want it to go away. So, yeah, but it will end on Sunday. I've looked at the weather and there's no troubles, no concerns in Augusta. Matsuyama is one player that I think a lot of. On the European list, I have John Rahm and Tommy Fleetwood as my top two European PM players.
I like that. I
Okay.
think John Rahm's exceptional. John Rahm has been lighting it up over on Live Tour. He's got the game for it. I mean, he's already won it once, right?
Hmm.
You're going to have real dry conditions. Should favor the longer hitters. Now, obviously, you got to make the putt, but you can get a little with the drier. The rough's not going to be heavy. I think you can give it a little advantage to someone that hits the ball further than what you and I were just talking about with your game, just the accuracy down the middle. You're going to have to play it a little longer. So it's going to require a longer player to get the job done this weekend, I think.
Rory
Rom is
McIlroy.
definitely set up to do that.
Roy McIlroy is the defending champion, Danny, and there's a book that came out today about Rory. I don't know how that's going to affect him. That's going to get into his relationships and his relation and how he really forced the breakup, I guess, with Caroline Wozniacki and almost to his marriage. It was a brief deal, like where they were going to divorce for about 30 days, and then they got back together. Erica Stoll or something, I think's her name. But
Did
I
he?
don't.
He is this like his own, or this somebody wrote?
No, this is a biography. I believe it's a biography on him, but I don't believe he's backing it. I don't believe. I cannot swear on that, but because of course, I haven't read it and I haven't looked in too much. But it hits today, so it is something interesting to
That's
to look
interesting.
at. I mean, my buddy Keith Donovan has wrote biographies for people that has been, assigned to do such, and they weren't exactly approving of it themselves, like the Joe Montana one that he did. Montana had nothing to do with it. Now he went and talked to like people that played with Joe Montana, and coaches and stuff. He just didn't make up things. He got, facts and quotes and information from them. He did his research. And I'm sure the writer feels like he's accountable for what's in the book, but it will be interesting because I was always a fan of that Wozniacki and McIlroy relationship. Here is a number one tennis player at one time, perennial top five and top 10, and one of the greatest golfers of our lifetime. And I thought, man, that is a match made in heaven there.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to impact him at all. I mean, you talk about Rory, who won it last year, finally got the monkey off his back, right? But now he's going to be going in with a head case. I didn't know about this book you're talking about, but trying to be the net first repeat golfer in almost, quarter of a century here to
That's
win it
right.
back
With
to back.
Tiger in 2001, 2002.
That's correct.
Hmm.
So now he's got that little piece of history that I'm sure he's going to put pressure on himself, and he always seems to do that. Now he performs well. I mean, Roy's a fantastic golfer. He can win any tournament he tees it up in on
Absolutely.
any given Sunday. But
And people are obsessed with him, Danny. Like everybody wanted to point fingers at this his situation with Amanda Balonius, what the
yeah,
CBS
yeah.
reporter and stuff. Nothing's ever been substantiated. There was anything going on, with him. But people get so obsessed with McElroy and his personal life and all. And I just think about like his parents and all that they did to get this kid every opportunity in golf. I mean, he's still young too. I mean, he could still win 8 more majors. He's got plenty of time. His parents did a lot of sacrificing to put him in the position that he's in.
If you go back to was it 2010 when he makes the turn, he's got the lead,
Yeah.
and just look how young he was right there, man. He looked like a lunatic. His hair was all sticking out the side of his hat, and he
Well,
just didn't have the head to keep that all that talent, his
he was
miss.
just he was young 20s then, right?
Yes, he was like a kid.
Yeah.
He's teeing off here to win the Masters on the back nine or the closing nine, as they call it.
Did
And
you know when he hit the tee shot at 10, did you say like this is a problem, or did you
look,
think like no, this is
I
just
honestly would
one
tell you, and
hole?
I'm not making this up, man, but I'm watching it throughout the day, and I knew. I mean, if he missed, and I watched a lot of golf back then. Didn't have much to do back then. I watched it and his miss was the bad left hook. He overswings. He's either going to block it and blow it way right, which that's rare, or when he misses, man, he overturns and it's going way left. And I sort of had the feeling when he finished nine, made the turn, that this was going to be bad. They always say,
Mm.
master starts on back nine on Sunday, and when he pulled it in the trees, I knew right then it was overdue. If we would have had the live props and all that, I'd have been like, somebody get it on that guy to lose this thing right here, because there's no way he was going to be able to come back from it.
I That's how I felt a couple of years ago, and I'm a Kepka fan, and Kepka led the tournament, and he finished poorly. They had to play the final parts of round three before they could play fourth round.
What year was that? Do you remember?
3 years ago.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So he had to he didn't finish strong, and he missed a putt on this last hole that was very makeable. And I was like, this is bad. This is really bad. And of course, he didn't have it in his final round. And then the crowd is all pulling for John Rahm because at the time, Rahm's on the PGA Tour and Koepka's on the Live Tour.
That's right.
The roles and Rahm, not long after, would be saying, I'm leaving for the Live Tour too. But
See
everybody in
ya.
Gower pulling for Rahm, the CBS announcers pulling for Rahm, and Jim Nantz making some comments about like such and such recently won on the Live Tour. I you don't know if you saw it or not because it was hard to get coverage. You had to look into the CW, at the time to see the Live Tour guys. But now I believe that will be reversed, and I would love to say, hey, I do want Brooks to win. I just doesn't, even though this is a major and he plays majors differently, he just doesn't have the Koepka game that he had when he won the PGA. After the frustrating loss at Augusta, he came back and I guess and he won the PGA. It's just not there for him right now. The consistency is just not there.
Look, I think Brooks Koepka, and I know he's your guy, and I like Brooks Koepka too. When he was on his tear, I thought he was just unstoppable. I mean, I thought, here we go. This guy's going to win all of these things. And I told you I had a lot of skepticism with him coming back. I thought he'd be all right. And we last year in a few majors, you'd said maybe he could do it. He couldn't do it. We knew he couldn't do it. But he looks pretty good. He's getting back to the form. He is second on the tour in strokes gained approach. He was number one on the tour when he was winning all those majors in strokes
Mhm.
gained approach. And we've always said it, that the best part of Brooks Koepka's game is what? Those irons.
Oh yeah,
And now that he's starting to die, I mean, he's second place on his iron play.
but he has struggled putting so
He
much.
has.
And then you throw him into Augusta. I mean, that doesn't seem like a
We made the comment on here that the reason he won all those matches because he's hitting it to this close.
yes,
And
yeah.
that's what he's going to have to do. Let's say he comes out and does it. But will say I can't put him as my number one pick because I think ultimately the putting gonna cost him. Just like it did. He's got two second place finishes. Both times some putts got it cost him, got in his head, and he could never recover from it, you know.
A hole that he plays really well is number 12, though. That's a hole that gives a lot of people trouble. But
Beautiful ball.
yeah, Ray's Creek right there. So I look forward to seeing him play 12. And
I
I
hope
used
he
to
does
think,
well. I hope he does well.
I hope that he's at least in contention on Sunday, has an opportunity, and uh, the putting doesn't cost him too much. I'll say that because if it does, I have a feeling that may carry over to the summer and create some troubles for him at the U.S. Open and the PGA, the Bridge, these tournaments also. So
We'll
I
see.
think I think the Masters is going to be a momentum wave for him. It's either going to really accelerate this comeback and get his game where we want it to be and him winning majors again, or if it's a bad showing, I got a feeling that it could be like a waterfall, downfall, avalanche the wrong way.
Well, I hope not. I really don't want to see that happen. And there's some days the putts just fall, man. I mean, he needs one of those days, you know.
I just, I've always liked him. I just have, and Tara has said, and I love Tara more than
I
anything
just
in the
feel like
world.
if he could, yeah,
But she will say he doesn't seem like that nice of a person. Why do we pull for him so hard? I said like I just have, man. I've hooked my started this guy's wagon a long time ago, and I'm not stopping now. I mean, yeah, he's won what 5 majors, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean, and look, he doesn't come across as pompous and arrogant as like DeChambeau does.
correct.
I mean, at the time, he had made those comments. Oh, I don't even practice for regular tournaments.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, yeah, that's just a little hyperbole, dude. Anybody, if you're as good as Brooks Koepka, I don't even know that I would warm up. I don't even go to the range now. I just go start teeing off on number one.
my
But
favorite, my favorite Danny is like they told him like, well, what do you why do you have so much success at these majors? So, well, you come here, these guys, you look at them, they're scared to death here, and they're playing in these majors, and you're only competing against like a fourth of them have an opportunity to win or something.
yeah, he's like,
Yes,
oh, we
this
got to
was,
beat like 20 of them.
yeah. So,
That
uh,
was pretty big insult too. But again, it's not nearly as arrogant as Brooks Koepka would tell you about it. He'd be all mad about missing a putt and go on about his business.
I just like how he
The Champo, you gotta sit and listen to the analysis for 30 minutes about why he missed one 6 foot putt.
something I
Okay,
admire
I don't
about him.
like the Shambo, and I hope he doesn't win this thing this weekend.
I'll get to DeChambeau here in a second, but something I admire about Kepka, as I've told you before, man, when Kepka was hurt that time, I think it was a knee injury or something like that. He says, he found out who his friends were on the tour. He says nobody like contacted him, see how he was doing, checking on him or something like that. He says Phil, I think it was Phil, Dustin Johnson, who he trained with some and worked out with, and Bubba Watson were the only ones that like even reached out. He goes, then he looked at the camera. He says, "I found out who my friends were." Man, I love that, man. Calling out people like that, I
Yeah,
love that about him.
look, he tells it like it is. That's what I'm saying. I hope he does it well, but I don't think he can win it. But if he does, I'd be great. I wouldn't be upset.
Oh, DeChambeau, Danny, what is it about the crowd? Even though he's on the live tour, the crowd loves him. If they were against him, they have forgiven him. And he is thriving out there, doing exceptionally well again this season. He probably wishes the tournament would have been like 2 weeks ago because those 3 events that they had events in 3 consecutive weeks, which is crazy because they only have like 12 events, 12, 14 events period. But he won 2 of them. So he was probably wishing like, hey, let's go to Augusta right now.
Well, so your question is, what is it about him that people like? You know, I think it goes back to the old saying in golf, right? I mean, chicks love the big stick. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. People loved it when he hit the scene swinging as hard as he could possibly swing. Then he's coming up with all these crazy math and changing the concepts of golf and club setup. And, you know, how many people I showed up after DeChambeau came around? You show up to the courses now and you got these people with these big, wide, fat grips because he was doing it. Oh,
Mm.
everybody gets all their irons the same length. Like, what are y'all doing, dude? I mean, this guy obviously has been doing this on his own forever. You're not going to just miraculously be a great golfer, but they live vicariously through this guy because he does all this weird stuff. And you think about it, the average Saturday Sunday putter or Saturday Sunday driver, they're always buying new clubs, trying
Hmm.
something new. You
Try to
got
get the
these putters that
edge.
look like Batman, and then you got the little blade putter, and then you got the driver with the big head. Oh, now I got a mini driver. it's like it's not going to change your game. Maybe DeChambeau's got it dialed in, but that's why they like him, man. They like that he's unconventional. They like that he runs his mouth and he tries stuff differently. I mean, I think it's, and he's great. He does score well, great golfer, but I don't think he's winning this thing either.
Of course, the president's tight with several of these guys, but he's extremely tight with DeChambeau. There's your Masters 2026 official cups there.
I love it.
Little like little Masters potato chips here for the course at Augusta National. And even though it says popcorn, these are like cracker jacks, really. The cracker jacks and the chocolate, the
The
official
chocolate
chocolate
chip
chip
cookie.
cookie, yeah, of the
Hold
Masters.
that chocolate
Hey,
chip cookie up a little higher. That thing's money right there, man.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'll ship you one. How about that?
I
Can I
would
do
love,
that?
yeah, those things are delicious. Hey, man, I
Uh,
told you, I'm right here at it. I might drive over there and stand outside the gate, see if I can buy somebody.
you might be able to find a badge. Somebody take off. Maybe they'll just give you their badge, like
I'm
they
not
leave
getting
it.
in there, man. I can't believe how many people up here in Columbia area, Lexington, all these folks got old. I guess they all got old money, old people, whatever. But
Danny, you live under a star. Things happen for
everybody's
you.
going to this thing, man.
Oh. Let me ask you about two more guys before we get you to make your picks.
All
We
right.
haven't talked about Scotty Scheffler at all, and that is the guy that's the favorite now. Look, there's some injury deal going on, like with him, but he's about 9-2, 5-1 most places to win it all. He's the favorite, and then Siwoo Kim. We got about five total minutes left. Siwoo Kim is a guy you and I have been high on all year.
Look, Scotty, who knows, man? He could come out maybe and turn it on, but it just looks like to me, to your point, there's something going on. He's talked a little bit about the injury, but that little twist move he does with his drive, I think something's bothering him there, and he can't get the driver and play the way he should. And I think it just snowballs throughout a round. And heck, he still plays great. I mean, scores pretty well. But to come out and win his third jacket, I don't know if he's quite can do it. If he does, I mean, I see why he's the favorite. He's got the game, but I don't see this being his weekend. Siwoo Kim is just, to your point, has played exceptional all year. I had to look it up the other day because you and I have been on him so long, thinking he was going to win. So I'm like, what kind of earnings is Siwoo? Because he's been had so many top tens this year. This guy's already up like $3.2 million in
That's a
earnings,
good. That's a good 5-year run for something.
and
That's
he hadn't
nice.
won a thing. He has not won a thing. That's like when I see him, I say, "Man, let me hold a dollar, dude. I've been riding you out for you ain't done nothing for me, but
And he might win. He might win.
he could." I don't think I don't know. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I don't know, but he's
I'm gonna re-
it would be just like us for him to win this thing this weekend. But he's got the
I'm
game.
gonna I'm gonna release two picks, one American, one non-American, and I want to get your picks. But I'm gonna go with Tommy Fleetwood as the non-American player that I'm choosing, and I'm gonna go with somebody we haven't mentioned yet. He's an American player. Pretty sure he's won this year on tour, and you can get incredible odds on him. But I really like his game, and it he may be in over his head here. But I'm going to give you the first name. I think you'll come up with the last name. Chris.
Who is that? Who are you talking about?
Second name starts with a G.
Chris Gotterup?
Yep.
Gotterup's played some golf, man, but I don't know.
Yeah.
First time at Augusta, right?
Yep.
Is this his
Yep.
first trip?
I believe it is.
You think he's gonna pull a Fuzzy Zeller and win it on his first go round? Maybe.
Was that 1979 when Fuzzy did that?
Yeah. I tell you,
Fuzzy, we
that's a
love.
good pick. I thought Gotterup, man. I honestly think I put that in a text to my family when they asked who you got.
Well,
I don't
you can
I have
get
time to look it
value with
up right now.
somebody
But
like
I
him
had,
and Jacob Bridgman, somebody like that. You can get some value.
yeah, Gotterup has been playing great. Now let me give you mine real quick since we're getting
Please, because we got a little less than 2 minutes.
okay.
Please.
We talked about neither one of us has mentioned one of the other favorites, which is Xander Schauffele. Not
Sure.
gonna happen. He's doing great. I know the course sets up. It ain't gonna work. He's gonna be good though, but he ain't gonna win it. I got Fleetwood, just like you, man.
Wow.
And then I got two picks really that I think for winner that would be good for anybody. Fitzpatrick is looking great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fleetwood looking great, been playing great at Augusta. And then my sleeper pick, I like Victor Hovland, man, and I know he didn't do well the last two tournaments, but he has really played good in these high pressure tournaments. He played great at the Players, and
Hmm.
this course is set up really good for him. If
Yeah.
he can just get off to a good start on that first round, he's going to be fine. Okay, so I like that. Hovland's my sleeper. Fitzpatrick or Fleetwood to win it, and if I had to pick one, I'd pick Fitzpatrick.
I think you got three great picks. And Fitzpatrick, man, this is a course I could see him putting on that green jacket on Sunday afternoon. I
I
mean, that
like it.
is, I mean, that is exceptional. Hey, I got about 30 seconds. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. We'll play this weekend, and I'm gonna try to get. I'm trying to get back into form and try to shoot no more than three over par.
All right. I hope to play with you sometime soon. I hope to get back out there and start
Yeah,
playing
I know.
myself. Man, we'll get
You keep
back.
saying that.
Well, I love you and I appreciate you stopping in and doing the show today.
Yes, sir. Same to you.
For Danny Arp in Columbia, South Carolina, for Jake Barton in Newnan, Georgia, I'm Tony Jones in Auburn, Alabama. We'll see you next time right here on Talking with Tony.